Hello everybody, my name is Nevalon and welcome in today's video where I'm gonna show you how I've beaten up the Titan. Now, as I usually don't show like a PVM type of stuff that I'm doing in the game, I think that Titan is kinda something I may show and try to explain since there is like no videos and many people are doing the questline already. And as much as the dimension questlines, as for the new Dofus, which is this one, that I was showing in my Osamodas video, I've heard that, okay, so this is the plus one summon, and I've heard that it might get final damage. I don't know if it's true, but it's supposed to get the final damage for every time your summons get hit or something. For now, it's in the state that you can see on my screen. But yeah, I've beaten up Titan, and yesterday I managed even to be in top 2, but right now, obviously, some people got better score than me. Which is, I mean, it's so impressive that I'm somewhere in top of the people that managed to finish it. Especially that I was very doubting in myself with my composition as well. That I may very struggle to even get to the run, to finish the full run. I wanted to get at least to the phase 3, finish the phase 3, get to the phase 4, and on the phase 4 you can leave in order to update the quest. But if you flee earlier from the Titan, then it's supposed to not update to what I know. So the phase 3 is the one that I was like trying to, targeting to finish it up, then to like get some score to appear in the ranking as high as possible. But I managed to actually fully clear this in the current season. Now the dimension got 3 seasons, so obviously the Titan boss is gonna have different mobs each week. And these seasons, so this season that we're currently, which is the birth season, next time is gonna be in 3 weeks. And the Titan is open from Friday 7 PM to Monday 8 AM. So maybe as you're watching the video, maybe if you're from different time zone, then you can pass it. If not, then with these current mobs, it's gonna be for the next week. But already I can maybe show you a few of the mechanics of the, try to show you and explain you Gargandyas mechanics at least, because as I said, the mobs are going to be different on each season and the boss is going to be different. Right now, the mobs were from the Sleeping Beast dungeon and the boss was the Ripper. So the questline itself to me is very smooth, took me very short time. The dungeons are definitely, I would say that Ripper dungeon was the hardest one out of all. The Sleeping Beast wasn't much of a trouble for me. For some people, it's actually like overwhelming because of the amount of mobs, the damage sharing between them and their summons. But for me, the Beast was kind of like a smooth walk. Ripper is the one that I passed on the fourth attempt. But yeah. Titan, as for Titan, so with the Titan, why am I doing this video is, I don't know if I already said it, but it's basically because you can do it up to 5 times only each week, and that's pretty much it. That's your limit per character. So that may be tough to understand the mechanics, and of course they are going to change every week. So maybe it's worth that. I decided that if I passed it, I'm gonna upload it, and some people already wanted me to upload it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to quickly summarize, even though, so many of the things I did was pretty much improvising. I wasn't even using like a class, like meta class that already on beta people are assumed that are going to be mostly used. On beta, for example, if you watch the S-Leaks gaming video, I was using their Masquerader and it was very strong, and Masquerader in this area I would say is very good for both the dungeons and for like the Titan fight itself. And the Panda there is kind of like in many cases maybe not useless, but it's not as necessary as in other type of content in Dofus so far. So that's very interesting. But without further ado, let's get to the maybe my gear a little bit of what we got. So as for the Sacrier, I decided to go with these items. Of course, also all the items I was trying to build, get the builds based on the items that I already got. I didn't want to like invest really into the sets and hoping that it's gonna work out. But for Sacrier, I decided to go with the int crit. I was at first running the standard age-old Archam, but then I decided that I'm in certain cases, like I would say that the range of the Sacrier spells was a little bit too low because my composition was mainly about like pushing the enemies away from me and trying to keep them on the distance as much as I can while also damaging them. So I was trying to give myself as much space for survival as I could. So I got 80% crit, which makes this corrupted bow on pretty much 100% crit whenever I would hit it with it. I'm using 4 parts of the war set, which got buffed because now it gives 10% crit. I'm using Slicker set, 3 parts, which got nerfed, but I honestly didn't even read what got nerfed, but I used it and it worked. So corrupted bow for the range, 4 to 8 range, and the damage is pretty solid. And then the ring is up to you. You can probably go something like with the Nomaro ring to like have even a higher cut if you want, or even higher damage, lower on the HP and a little bit on the resistances. Now I picked this one, the Signet, just because I wanted to have like a decent resist on like on all elements as possible, and I wanted like, you know, maybe my fire resistance to look a little bit better, but still be like on the 80% of a crit. Like if I could have maybe swap it to Ringeus if I wanted to and just put the APX of the war. But yeah, this is how it went. But with this thing, I would be missing 1% of the crit. I'm using also new AP crit pad because I have only 2 occurs, so I gave one of my occurs to Eniripsa, so it didn't need to use Jackanapes. And yeah, so this is basically how my Sacrier looks like. Let's get now to the maybe to the Panda. Why not? Since it's in the order. I'm using my also scenes that I'm usually using on my streams because I didn't want to like set up anything new right now. It's a very quick and improvised video. So on the Panda, I'm using a crit agility range set with 80% crit chance, crit initiative pet, and I don't even need to need the ochre over here. I'm 4 range. If I could put Sylvan over here, then I could have been 6, but oh well, my Sylvan is not tradable yet. Else I could put it from my Sacrier on my Panda. It would have been a bit nicer, but it's fine. Still decent on the resistances, pretty good on damage, 1100 agility, at least from based on the stats that my items have. We got 3 parts of Cycloid set, 3 parts of Alistair, and 3 parts of the Submerged. And the eggs, of course, the way they are. So, that's pretty basic agility crit set. Now, as for Eniripsa, I decided to go with strength since, well, as I said, I was like, I decided to pick items out of the stuff that I already had. And I was like, you know what? Strength and Eniripsa is actually for 2 reasons. One is because, like my items, right? I'm mostly PvPer, so I'm trying to adapt from that. And second of all is because I was, as I said, I was pushing mostly the enemies away from me, so I was using Profanity from Strength Eniripsa spells. Yeah, basically from Eniripsa element, sorry. And yeah, the rest is like basically just healing. It doesn't have maybe like too great of a spells for this dungeon, but it does the job. Mainly with the pushing, it's doing okay. And I could have used, like, get the AFK turns, like, right after Gargandyas would put, like, his claws, that they would stick out from the ground, which you're gonna see in the video, in the fight. Then I could have eventually sometimes, you know, clean them up, while also healing up my team if needed. And so, I'm using 3 parts of the Pandemonium, 3 parts of the Brucey, 2 parts of the Gritriel, 1000 excuses. And I was in the fight using, at first, Almond and Crimson Dragoturki because I was trying out with different builds before on my Feca, but then I changed them on my Feca and on the Sacrier. And right now I would rather put Bulbisu, but I was using Dragoturki in the video that you're about to see. Which is up to you, you know, if you want to obviously copy one of them or one of, like either of my builds. I also have like some decent heals from, I think it's from the Pandemonium set, mostly 60 heals, yeah. Plus I think the wand itself is giving some. Yeah. And next and actually last is the Feca. Feca, I decided to come to enter with this build. So it's a chance range build. I have a 5 range without Sylvan over here. I decided to, instead of Sylvan, to put Nightmare Dofus to increase initiative, so my Feca could be before my Sacrier, because that's how I usually my comp runs. And so that's why it's here. I'm using here 2 parts of the Deep Sea, 3 parts of the Whale set, so I have 2 AP items, and 2 parts of the pit set, and I need a ring. Now here could be would be better, obviously, the Chance Colophant, but I don't have it, so I'm using Snailmate instead. And so this set. Also, I picked it instead of like the classic crit chance that I usually was using, because this one was a little bit better on resistances. So yeah, with that said, now when it comes to the boss, I'm not willing to explain every mechanic, because every mechanic is gonna differ based on the season. So I'm gonna try to in the middle of the fight, you'll be playing you will see the fight. There will be maybe some music in the background. At least that's what I'm planning to do. And on the screen right now, probably you see already some of the boss mechanics, which I'm gonna try to also talk about them in the middle of the fight on each phase. So without further ado, I think let's get straight to the boss. Okay, so first thing that we gotta keep in mind is the blue glyph, that with each phase up to phase 3, it's gonna keep getting smaller. In phase 4, it's gonna be when the Gargandyas is gonna be on your side, then it's gonna increase your 10% final damage and lower the damage of the enemies, but probably you just will increase your own because you wanna keep the enemies out of like your distance. But if they will dash to you, get to you somehow, then the damage is also gonna be increased on that phase. But let's focus on the early phases. The glyph for now is quite wild, 3 cells in the circle. Then it's gonna drop to one cell circle, and then on the phase 3 it's gonna be on the 1 cell of each of the sides except of diagonal. Now, if you are not going to be in this glyph that is spawned on top of one of your allies, it's safer to check on the states in the buffs. It's usually gonna have like this yellow text, because this state is gonna like appear on each character that is already inside of glyph, but the yellow text is gonna like define who has this state. So this is worth knowing in case the icons gets confusing or the glyphs get confusing, because they seem still like a little bit buggy, so pay attention to that. And you must be in this glyph before the Gargandyas turn, or else you will get one-shotted. And all I'm gonna say, you don't want a single or one of your allies to be dead, at least until the phase 4. Now, as for the phase 1, it's kinda simple. All you have to do is just kill the mobs. Now, in case of these mobs, I would say that gotta be careful with 2 mobs specifically. One is the rabbit, because he applies 10% erosion, and the other one is the goat that I just killed from this weight, because later on he can like sometimes pull you into this purple glyph. Now, if you noticed it already, Gargandyas, one of the glyphs, is like becoming like transparent, and on the next turn he's like casting his like low corruption wave. Well, little, not so little, and then this purple glyph appears. For now it's like on one of the sides, but later on it's gonna be on both of the sides of the map. And you definitely don't wanna enter in this. Okay, maybe let's say that in this transparent glyph, as far as I know, it may one-shot you. I didn't end up in this situation at all, so I don't know that, but according to Dofuspourlesnoobs. And if you're gonna enter or even if you're gonna get like pulled by the goat mob that I was like talking about a moment ago, then it's gonna deal damage to you. Or even if you're gonna get pushed by these claws that he spawns, for example, on my characters, that also can. So in one situation it pulled me into the glyph and I received damage. I'm not sure if it happened in this fight. You're gonna watch and you're gonna see. So yeah, you don't wanna be in these glyphs. You wanna completely avoid that. It's definitely better to overall be on the left side of the map overall. Now, the moment his face falls down, you can start farming up the score. The first trigger is at 50,000 HP. Now, if you're gonna see that he like goes up, it's kinda buggy because he was supposed to remove the clothes that he spawned on the previous turn, but don't worry about it. So either you reach the threshold within 2 turns from the moment you reach it with one of your characters, or if you're gonna reach it, then he's gonna wake up and the phase 2 is gonna start. Now, also when his face is down on the ground, then you can also flee already the fight and receive the loot, I believe, from the mobs that you already killed in this particular phase. Now, this thing is only for the score, so don't worry, you don't even need to, but I believe you don't need to really hit it at all. Now, as he gets up, then the next wave is spawning and there is one additional mob. Now, the mobs are invulnerable until the moment he got up, so in my case, the phase 2 started on like Feca turn, so on the next Feca turn, they are going to be vulnerable. And so the mechanics are getting a little bit trickier with the Gargandyas. So he's gonna now keep spawning the glyphs on both sides on the map. And one thing that I didn't say, that he sometimes pushes the characters from either of the sides. It's happening every 2 turns, but it's like every 4 turns from the left and every 4 turns to the right. I think I should say. I mean, it's like every second turn, basically, he moves the characters. So it's happening already, like from the moment he plays his, from the moment he does his first turn. So in my case, if you notice, the animation happened on the left side. With these close animations. So if my characters from the first 3 cells from the left side would have been moved by 7 cells and could be like straight in the middle of the map, where he could cast the beam on them, and that could hurt a bit. The next one is supposed to be 2 turns after, and it's gonna be on the other side of the map. So this is something to bear in mind. Now I'm gonna be on like bottom left of the map until for quite of a time, but later on, if you notice, you can notice me that I will go when I will know that he's gonna move the characters from the left side, then I'm gonna be go a little bit on the top left corner, like in these on the 3rd and 4th cell, where you can see there's like these 2 empty cells. So I make sure that if he's gonna move me, because I'm not gonna move further from these first 3 cells of the left side because of the glyphs that he keeps pretty much spawning every time. So I'm gonna be there just so when he pushes my characters, they are going to get blocked. They're gonna get blocked by these empty squares. Now, I was told that, for example, Sadida trees are also being moved on this map, so that's something I don't know. It's maybe worth verifying if this is gonna be still a case, if it's supposed to be like this. But what you can also use is like, if you have possibility, I remember that on beta I sometimes was using Cowot. Maybe that one also can be moved, but I remember that it didn't. But then I think whenever my team played Cowot on the beta, then we just maybe were using it outside of the squares, not knowing even the mechanics at the time. But I feel like the safest is gonna be rely on these 2 empty squares and like just put your team in the line of these 2 like empty squares. This way, not gonna get pushed straight to the middle, and you're gonna receive some my team, you're gonna see that it's gonna receive some damage, but at least you're gonna stay safe from the from being I would stay safe mainly from getting closer to these mobs, even though they are at some point starting getting closer to me regardless, but also, yeah, from the beam that is also doing incredible damage. Now here comes the phase 3, where we get another mob to deal with, and this is the phase that we gotta pass in order to finish our Dofus questline. So this is already in my mind, it's like my final goal. And so I picked up this spot behind these 2 squares because now the Gargandyas is not gonna spawn the glyphs anymore, but he will keep pushing us from the bottom and from the top of the map. So now not only from the sides, but also up and down. And this spot is kind of the safest to avoid that, and it's thanks to my one of my viewers that actually convinced me to stand over there, even though I was very doubting with mainly because of my Sacrier. I was doubting that this is not going to be that great of a spot, but now I realize that it's actually very solid one. So I think might be the best spot for like if you're not going like some for now like meta comps with like Eliotrop and stuff like that I've seen on the betas. But yeah, this spot saved my this phase a lot. So thanks to the guy that is his nickname is on the bottom of the chat. And so as I said, he's not spawning any glyphs, so we're gonna be safe. All we have to do is just to keep the mobs. I keep trying to keep the mobs away in my case, and managed to reposition the rabbit, so he's now on the other side of the map and from the middle to the right side. And definitely the goat is still the scariest, because as I said, it can still pull us from this position. It even could have the space to pull us to the middle. Maybe not completely to the middle, but it's still worth pushing it away as much as possible. We don't want it too close. I mean, you can see that it does some little jumps and that it uses like 2 MP, but as long as it doesn't have, I don't know exactly the range for it to dash linearly to us, then until it cannot do that, then we should be safe. So this is gonna be the spot on which I will be chilling for the rest of this phase, and I think we're gonna see each other on the moment when we're gonna finish that up. getting to the end of the phase 3 and already slowly you can see these transparent glyphs spawning. This is where obviously the Gargandyas face is gonna go down on the ground, and in the middle is gonna be a big corruption orb. Now, one something that I didn't say, that to Gargandyas we're also doing additional damage, and so we will do to this orb that is going to spawn. Now the first phase of this orb is gonna be with the 100,000 HP. And it's better to kill it because else we are supposed to get the neutral damage and then 2/3 poison. Something that I didn't get, but since the damage is gonna be increased on that orb, then it's not too difficult to drop it. So this is one thing to keep in mind. So the first phase of the orb you definitely gotta focus on, and then it's gonna drop to the threshold of 1 HP. So kind of like a Ripper boss in this dimension, and then it's gonna go into phase where it got 1 billion of the HP, and this is where you just hit it for the as high score as you possibly can. Now the AoE damage is also worth maybe mentioning. Something that I didn't say is that they are not doing additional damage to multiple cells, although some people were telling me that it does, but not really. It just increased damage on these targets, so both Gargandyas and this orb. And after this, to kill this orb, we got, or let's say to hit it, because like it's the phase to kill it to kill the phase 1 and then hit it on the phase 2. We got 3 turns in total, so make sure at least that the phase 1 is pretty much completely down to the 0. Make sure to trigger the phase 2 of this orb, and this is where we got getting slowly to the phase 4. Ladies and gentlemen, time to begin the phase 4, on which in this case spawns the Ripper in this season. So okay, so at the moment we can flee wherever we want. So we can cast this 1 AP spell that lets us finish the dungeon successfully by fleeing, and this is when it's supposed to update the Dofus questline. It will update your Dofus questline. But I decided that I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm gonna hit a little bit more, just maybe for the scores for funsies. And since I was like pretty alive, and people of course were telling me like, yeah, just keep hitting him, keep hitting the mobs, and just get the best score you can. Yeah, Gargandyas is right now on our side, so all the spells that he was casting against us, now he's casting for us. So the mobs are going to be caged with these claws. The glyphs are going to deal damage to the mobs and to the boss itself. And the repositioning, so the repositioning, I think in certain cases is gonna be a little bit troll, because he's gonna like move the mobs up and down, and I remember, and I think also left and right, I think he's also doing that. I'm not sure, I remember only the up and down sometimes. In case of the Ripper, it's kind of scary, because the Ripper mechanic is pretty much the same as in the dungeon, so it got 2 phases, and it also we gotta stay out of line of sight to not receive the state, this bloody icon, that when the Ripper will jump again on our characters, it can then one-shot it. So for some reason, I believe from the regular dungeons I never lost the state even when the Ripper was down, but I think, I'm not sure if this is the Gargandyas that was debuffing it from me, because now the beam, from what I read, I believe, is applying the minus effect, and maybe that's why I've been losing the state. I'm completely unsure about it, but sometimes my characters been losing it, and neither got really one-shotted. But for sure, yeah, I at some point realized that I'm doing pretty decent damage, and I'm in pretty decent spots. The Ripper's not even going to me, and also I'm using these claws that are on my side to my advantage, because it's the Reaper was focusing at, for example, one turn. You could have seen that it focused on the close rather than on my characters, and then it remains on the right side of the map. So I was pretty safe and confident I could maybe possibly, with Gargandyas now being on my side, to kill all these mobs. And that's when I realized that I might not need to even flee to complete this, to just complete the quest line, which was my main target, but now I can actually complete the whole run, and this is what we're going to do. So yeah, the bosses obviously are going to be going to vary depending on the season, alongside with the effect. Now I don't know if there's like any other details. It's better to read Dofuspourlesnoobs than relying on me, because I've been like, I've been like pretty much completely improvising. I knew only like few basic details, and that's about it. And that seems like to be enough. Plus, obviously, the assistance from the chat. That's what gave me the will and I guess the advantage to pass this dungeon completely. So yeah, Titan is now free, and now it's all about to wipe out all the corrupted mobs. So right now I'm gonna say that thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the fight, and if you wanna see more of the stuff, or if you wanna see, maybe in the future I could consider doing the Titan fights with the other seasons if you want me. And maybe if I manage to successfully also pass them, then I could also upload them. So maybe let me know if you wanna see that. Even though I didn't really plan to overall upload any PVM stuff, but yeah, here we are. Just because I think the Gargandyas is very very heavy, and how randomly Reaper got triggered. I didn't even realize it. And yeah, there's go phase 2 of the Reaper. It was kinda scary, but okay. So maybe definitely I will try them on my own, but we'll see if I will do them successfully, and if I will decide to also upload them on YouTube. And yeah, I hope that even though my video was very kinda improvised, with the like completely chaotic knowledge that I've already got about this, I hope that it maybe somewhat motivates you and will be handy for your attempts. As I said, like, I mean, 5 attempts is definitely not in, like, for this dungeon might be very heavy to like keep, like, you know, redo. Like, usually you kind of, some people will definitely want more redos to more times to redo the dungeon in order to actually practice and learn it. So I hope that this video with this my little chaotic explanation will be somewhat handy, guys. Alright, so yeah, make sure to follow my Twitch channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel that you're watching right now, and that all that stuff, right? Yeah, and see you in the future, and good luck with finishing this questline. There is literally like Valonia questline with the Sarmumor at the end, the same length and ridiculous boss at the end. But alright, enough yapping. Follow me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/NevalonV2. Join up the community Discord server where I am and other content creators, and also give me a subscribe on my YouTube channel if you like this video, if you like also if you wanna see some other videos in the future from me. And yeah, see you guys in the future when I will post some stuff. Yeah, bye.